All right, welcome everybody. Welcome to a new episode of CXO Series. I'm Lucian Fogoros, and our guest today is Simon Williams, the Chief AI Officer of ATELIC, joining us from Dubai. And our focus would be AI in energy. Now, I want to set the background a little bit. Simon brings a wealth of experiments from AWS and Halliburton, among others. And I want to understand a little bit from you, Simon. Uh, how do you view this? So many still see AI as a tool, not a capability. What mindset need to change uh, to have better adoption of AI?
Yeah, it's a good question. So I think the change in mindset is that they need to stop looking at AI as an add-on tool or something that can be used as like a layer of summarization or for kind of simple analytics. They need to they need to start seeing AI as an actual layer to power automation, right? So to stop moving from summarization and high level analytics to something that is actually going to start to do inference and to actually start to drive automation essentially.
Got it. Thank you for that insights. Now, you work at the intersection of AI and energy. Where are you seeing real impact today? Not in pilots, but in actual operations.
Well, I think so. A few points here. I think AI has actually been in energy for a long time. So within particularly within the oil and gas industry, they've been using AI models since the 80s, essentially, right? I think the change that we're seeing in the last 2 years is that we're starting to see, obviously, see LLMs and agentic models starting to lead with decision making skills, right? Essentially, so we're kind of moving from that stage where AI models will be just used for very specific and niche reasons, for example, like seismic interpretation, but more going into the mainstream of logic and kind of making decisions essentially autonomously, right? So I think this is what we're going to see in terms of the next few years, the changes that we're going to see in the industry.
Got it. Now, energy systems shift by the hour. How can AI help leaders stay confident in their decision? You alluded to the decision making that AI will help there.
Well, so I mean, energy systems. So you look at utilities, you look at oil and gas specifically, right? These are all dynamic systems. So these systems, which change minute by minute, hour by hour, many variables, many interlocking dependencies. This is essentially a chaotic system, right? And what AI can do is it can bring clarity to this system, right? So if you were to take a oil and gas operation, you're looking at, I mean, essentially up to like 50 to 100 parameters coming in second by second, right? Pressure curves, sensors, many different variables, which really humans cannot track in real time anymore. So, what the AI can do, the AI can continuously contextualize it, bring in that data, ingest it, and then start doing forecasting, start doing predictive analytics, and start to actually create a living model of the system, right? So, then you get to the phase of not just having a look what's happening, you're actually then going to see, okay, well, this is happening, what's likely to happen next, and why this information matters in the context of the wider operations. So essentially, how do you stay confident in your decision making? Because you're no longer reacting blindly. You're using digital twins, you're using the AI models behind to really help sit by you and actually help you make those decisions alongside with you.
Got it. Now, you've led AI programs in very complex environments, and we alluded to some of the specific, particularly in oil and gas. What's the one lesson about scaling AI responsibly that you wish more executive understood?
Yeah, so good question. So I would say so trusting the AI before you scale is key here, right? Because unlike people and unlike operations, AI models fail quietly, right? Silently, essentially. So if you have these kind of errors in the AI and in the models that have been created, your people will very, very quickly lose trust. I spent 10 years trying to kind of deploy uh, AI and automation systems kind of in the field, and it takes a long time to build the trust, and it takes just a few seconds to burn that trust, right? So you really need to make sure that whatever you inference you do, whatever model that you're building, it has transparency, it has feedback, and then it has governance built into the loop. So it's not just a black box that's just pumping out numbers and you have no understanding. And this comes down to essentially how you deploy the model and ensure that when you're coming up with an answer, it's coming with all the contextual information. So I think we should do this because of XYZ reason, right? And this all comes back to adding context and for the AI models and for the digital twins to have a really high level overview of what's happening in the operation.
Got it. Now, ATELIC is new, and ATELIC Studio blends people and AI. What's the most interesting thing that you've seen them solve together?
Yes, so kind of one of the challenges that we're looking right now at
Yeah.
Atelic, which is, I mean, in my opinion, kind of at the cutting edge, right? It's really this hybrid approach, right? So you have the competencies of large language models, you have agentic workflows that can then start to kind of make decisions by themselves, ingest data by themselves, really start to get to a point where they can start to do some cool logic if they're trained appropriately. And then on the other side, you have technology like digital twins, which have kind of been around for a few years now, ingesting all of that real-time data, trying to kind of build either by a physics-based model or a traditional physics-based model or by a modern AI model, trying to provide a baseline for what's happening in the operation and then trying to do kind of what if scenarios, right? You bring those two together and you've got something really powerful, right? So you will have a model that's able to understand what's happening in the operation, to do a baseline prediction, what your pump, piston, sensor, what your operation should be looking like right now, compare that to what the model is saying. And then on top of that, you have an AI agent that can automatically say, oh, hey, well, wait a minute, something doesn't look right. Let me send an alert. Let me go and do some additional modeling. Let me go and look at the context of the operation and think about what's happening, think about what steps I should take next. So really using those two technologies, combining them together and getting a step closer to kind of full automation, essentially. And this is what we're currently working at Atelic within the upstream domain.
Got it. Now, can you expand a little bit on the empowerment aspect of the human? Are you empowering the operator that's looking to make situational awareness types of decision, or is it the process engineer that's looking at that? Who is it?
It's the entire team, right? I mean, if you look at the AI agents that we're going to build, it's not just connecting for one specific persona. It will connect to the entire data stack within that upstream organization, pulling all that data together, and then either proactively, so pushing notifications to the workforce, or reactively being asked questions in the form of kind of a chatbot type thing. Um, you're essentially allowing all of the different personas that you're working for within the organization to use those tooling. So it's not built specifically for a driller who's working in the upstream piece or a petrophysicist who's just doing seismic. It's actually trying to combine all of those together with a workflow. So it's seamless, essentially, right? So for example, what we're working on is you can go in and you can ask a kind of agent to either do a task for you, or you can ask it to pull back information from any of the data silos that you have within the upstream domains.
Got it. Thank you. I want to close with one question. I know you're getting ready to go to GITEX and 200,000 people, full of new technology. What's the one shift that you hope to see in how industry use AI over the next 5 years?
So good question. I think in the next 5 years, I want us to stop chasing demos, right, and actually start to deploy stuff that runs on your rig, in your plant, in your production facility. I want to take it into reality, right? And I think this is what I hope to see in the next few years. And I think what we're going to start to see a shift away from is there's you see lots of arguments between, okay, which model is better, right? This one's been trained on X parameter, this one's been trained on X parameter. General knowledge is always getting better. One model outperforms by another one by a couple of percent. Those generalized models are, I mean they're great if you want to ask, um, what's the best way to cook pasta versus and then the next question is, okay, what's the best way to run my production facility, right? What you actually need is you're going to start needing smaller models which are domain grounded, right? So they're built specifically for industry purpose, right? And this is where we see things like traditional data sets that companies have to build specifically domain grounded LLM models, and then on top of that, using technologies like edge AI, digital twins, supervisory agents, pulling all that together, and that's when the magic happens, right? That's when you're going to have essentially a kind of a companion, whether you're in a remote operation center, whether you're in a control center, whether you're on a drilling rig. You're going to have an AI companion who's kind of invisibly sat next to you, really making you helping you make better decisions, basically in real time, right? And what I would like to see, or what I'm hoping that will happen, we will start to get to a point where it'll be invisible, right? The AI will just percolate through our workflows, and then we're not even going to be talking about it anymore. It'll just be this invisible helper that we just get used to, and it just helps us in our day-to-day life, and it really helps us make better decision making in real time. So yeah,
Kind of like electricity, it's there, you just use it. So thank you for
you're
that.
just
And
there. You forget all about it. Yeah,
right,
exactly.
moving away from demos, I'm with you. I came away from the last major show in Germany last year, trying to find ways of benchmarking some of the use cases or case studies for leveraging AI in industrial settings. Simon, I want to thank you for your insights. And if you're in the audience, have questions for Simon, feel free to leverage the hashtag and make sure we get the question addressed. Or better yet, if you're in Dubai at GITEX, feel free to stop by